Hello everyone. So recently I was talking to my friend, my close friend, and we were talking about files, and especially these days because we make videos, and these videos are usually big. Although I try not to create big video files, but even if you use FFmpeg to record a video, like right now I'm doing this recording using FFmpeg script, you still have a very big file. I mean, of course, as compared to making a video using mobile phone, uh, it is of course small, but still, when you have videos, when you have a lot of files, then you need some kind of a ritual that you need to follow to make sure that you're managing your files properly. And today I thought I'll probably share what I do normally to manage my files. And I do this for multiple reasons. Number one, I guess you should treat your files as your assets because this is what you will keep with you, and your files will always stay with you for a long time, I guess. And I still have my files from late 90s. The first code that I wrote in C, or in fact in Basic, and I basically want to share this with all of you because when you have a lot of files, when you have a lot of things to worry about, it can actually give you some trouble if you're not really managing your files properly. And the way I look at my files is that I should be able to store them properly. I should be able to back them properly, and at the same time, if I need, I can search them quickly. And I do, of course, use org mode to make sure that all of my notes are in text-based format because that is where I keep my knowledge base, my notes, and of course, when you're talking about code in general, code can always be searched on, and you have, of course, your code repository manager, your version control system like Git. I use Git, of course. So for code, it is okay. Code is not really too big most of the times, unless you're writing code for Java, which is always a pain because you have to, for example, I write code for Jira, where I have to either work on scripts or maybe I have to um, create plugins, apps, and when you're working with that particular Atlassian SDK, you have to basically manage a lot of files. Of course, you don't really commit each and everything. You only commit your own code, but the folder on your computer it can be very big in GBs. So in general, what I do, I try to follow a few things. So I'll probably share, these points, and hopefully it will help you. Starting with, of course, my videos. And by the way, I do this every Sunday. I try to do it every Sunday, and I have one activity in my org mode to remind me. But I know that I have to do it. It's like, cleaning your room. I basically clean my computer. So every week, I make it a point to move my videos from my computer, which is this laptop, my main primary computer, to my external hard disk, which is always connected, by the way, on my, I use Ultra Base, and my hard disk and all the connections are already there. So I can always, move it whenever I want, which I do. But I make it a point to do it every week so that I remind myself that yes, on Sunday morning, I have to move everything, all the videos. And usually I have because if I make a video using this FFmpeg script, it is roughly like 80-70 MB, which is not really a big number. It's not really a big file, but still it is. If you basically, if I look at my org mode folder, the entire folder is probably 250 MB. So and that has been there for many years. But if I look at my folders, if I don't really move my videos for like a week or two, I can have like maybe 500 MB, maybe a bit more that I need to move. So I make it a point to move my videos to my external hard disk, number one. Number two, I do the same thing for my mobile. So I, of course, take videos and photos from my mobile phone, and I do the same thing. And although I use SyncThing is great to sync your files from one computer to another computer. But what I prefer doing is there is no, I mean, if you talk about purely in terms of speed, especially if you're trying to do something from mobile to another device, I simply use this drive. This particular drive has this USB-C connection connector, and on the other side it has this one normal USB. Uh, so this is something that I use to copy the files from my mobile to this particular drive, and then of course I move it to my external hard disk. And I do this every day whenever I can. But if not every day, I of course have this weekly task for me. Now, I also use SyncThing, which I believe I showed. I don't really remember if I showed it or not. But SyncThing is fine for small files, but when it comes to videos, I think using a drive, using this USB drive is probably the fastest. So this is what I do. And then I also make it a point to clear my home directories, because whenever I'm working on something, let us say I'm downloading some files, everything goes to my home directory, unless I normally when I try to download anything, I can do it directly to the right folder, but it is too much of work. So I just dump everything on my home directory, and that is it. And I then move things to the right location every day or every week for sure. And at the same time, I keep an eye on both my external hard disk, the primary hard disk which is connected, and also my laptop's internal 128 GB hard SSD. So basically, I make it a point that I do those checks on the files, big files, and I believe I made videos on this, like a couple of videos that I showed those commands, simple commands, but you can actually figure out the big files that are consuming a lot of, or basically the folders that are consuming most amount of storage. And I do it both on internal, the laptop hard disk, and also the external hard disk. And I try to delete the old files whenever I can. If I know for sure I don't really need them, I delete them. It is the most simplest thing. And at the same time, apart from the 128 GB that is connected to the laptop, my primary external hard disk is 2 TB, which is, I believe, 70% full. So I also have one more 2 TB, which I use as a backup. So I use rsync to back up my primary external hard disk to my secondary external hard disk. So basically my backup number 2. And then I also make sure, I do it every day whenever I can, but because I write code, I have more than few code repositories on my local computer, and of course I commit my code, but I make it a point, I just go to those directories, and I quickly run git status, and I check if there is any uncommitted file that I need to maybe commit. And by doing it regularly, it has, of course, to be honest, when you do a lot of things, you need some kind of ritual, I believe, so that you are making sure that you are in control of your files. You know where your files are going, and you have a backup. More importantly, backup is always important. When you have backup, you have peace of mind. Let us say if this computer breaks or something bad happens. It's a machine, right? So at least I have my backup, and that is what I think we all should do. And I think I mentioned this before. I of course have a lot of music, which is of course on my external hard disk, and external hard disk is always connected to my ultra bass, so it is always mounted on my computer. And whenever I have to listen to the music, I have like symlinks to the right directory. So I use symlinks on my home directory, that is going to take me directly to the right folder. And of course I'm using MPD, like music player daemon, so that all my music files are available for me. I don't really store videos anymore. I do have Netflix, Amazon Prime, and I might discontinue them, but I prefer keeping Netflix and Amazon Prime. In fact, I also have Disney Plus, which is something that I am totally okay with. I think it's just like paying for cable or satellite TV. Nowadays we have, of course, these new movies coming. I don't really want to, I mean, I used to do it, but I prefer not to use torrents. This is something that I don't really do. I mean, I don't really mind paying for it, but I don't really have any movies on my computer. I just have my old files, especially music files. But even for music, I think I, I mean, although I have access to the Amazon Music and Spotify as well, but I still prefer music locally because you can. I mean, I basically use my. Uh, I think I showed this. I have a script, so whenever I want, I can actually dump all of my favorite playlists. So I do have a playlist. Like out of all of my songs, I have like maybe 50 songs that I really like. So I have a script. I run that script, and all those songs from my MPD playlists are copied to uh, a temp directory, which is synced to my phone. So basically, my phone always has the latest playlist of songs. So this is something that I'm probably happy with. I don't really download MP3 anymore. I used to like 10 years ago, but most of my songs are from 80s or 90s or early 2000s. But this is what I do for my files. I have this weekly mandatory ritual that I have to follow. I mean, I try to do it whenever I can, but I make it a point every Sunday to do these things so that I'm in control of my files. And I thought I'll probably share this with you so that you can also probably do something similar, or maybe if you have some other ideas. I think it, I know these days we have a lot of those capabilities of doing automatic backups, but for me, doing something like this manually, it is not really automated process. I mean, I have to move my files. I have to move my. I have to clean my home directory. I mean, I can of course. I don't really think you can automate each and everything when it comes to using computers. You have to do things yourself uh, many times. But I know that these days there are possibilities where your entire laptop can be synced, or each and every file on your machine can be synced. But uh, of course, I don't really use. I don't really use Windows for my for my main. I mean, I do have Windows based laptop, but I don't really use it for my own personal work. I also have Mac, which I only use for watching movies or maybe making some calls where I know that I need that assurance. When I use this ThinkPad to make my Zoom calls, it works 90% of the times, but sometimes it gives me some trouble. So if I'm talking to a client, I use my Mac. But I know that if I use my other main, I do have one computer, one HP computer, which I built last year, and I have upgraded it slightly. It is actually quite fast, but I'm too used to my ThinkPad, and I want to use it. And for majority of my work, 99% of my work, I use my ThinkPad, and it has some limitations, but at the same time, I can live with it. And fortunately, I have Mac with me. But I know that if you're using Mac or if you're using Windows, you have those capabilities where you can back up the entire drive if you want. But I believe that having control over your files, and when you know what this file is all about, and you're basically not letting your operating system take the backup of each and every file, and 90% of those files you don't really even need. I think you need some kind of this ability where you know what this file is all about. So that is what I do every week. I go back to my external hard disk and I run a command. I look for all the big files or maybe all the old files, and I try to find anything that I can potentially delete. So I do these things in within maybe half an hour, and I think that is more than enough time. And when you do it regularly, you are actually, I mean, to be honest, I also delete my old photos because I don't really think you need to have like thousands of photos. There is no point. I think you should also get rid of those old photos or maybe old videos. I do have a lot of old videos that I want to delete, and I try to delete them if I 100%, if I know for sure that I'm not really going to watch those videos again ever, or maybe I have a good memory of that particular video or photo, I just delete them, and that is it. It makes me it gives me some clarity in my mind, and that is it. That is all I wanted to share in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much. Bye bye.